Hey guys, it's Crusher, and there's a question that so many people have been asking me, and it is, how do you choose your mantras? Like, how do I choose what mantra is best for a build, or best in general? Like, what loadout do I use? What mantra is good with what? And they ask how I know these things. A lot of it comes with experience, but I can condense a lot of this, and if you guys want me to go over an extensive guide, let me know in the comments, and I can tell you, like, literally this attunement best, this attunement like best loadout, like this hybrid best loadout. Like, I can do an extensive series, but for now I just am going to go over how you choose certain attunements, like what kind of play style they have, what mantras go with a certain play style, and like general rules that every build needs to have or is missing something with, right? So to start out, you want to choose your attunement, right? Your attunement, you have obviously attunementless, you have Flame Charm, Frost Straw, Thunder Call, Gale Breath, Shadowcast, and Iron Sing. Attunementless, and then attunementless also goes for weapon launchers. Attunementless is a very combo heavy based, M1 based kind of play style. People that like rush down builds usually really love things like this. There's no gimmicks. It's usually very simple. You click a number, something happens. There's no setup, nothing like that. It's a more simple but mechanically skilled. It's not a information check, is what I mean. So if you want to go things like that, you want revenge, just like things like those. The combo mantras, look for things that look like they combo into each other, and then high posture moves like Exhaustion Strike and Strong Left. That would be the play style for obviously attunementless, right? And then attunements each have their own little gimmick. Flame has the tick damage and the high pressure. Frost Straw has the anti-heal and the stopping them from moving. Thunder Call has the stun or the extra damage from Blurple, and then has a kind of spam kind of playstyle. But I don't want to call it that because that puts a bad reputation on it, but that's what it is. You throw out a lot of moves, you try to get them locked down into a certain, like you're trying to force them to play a certain way with Thunder. Gale Breath is a very combo heavy, but you need to learn how to feint a lot to keep up your inhales, keep up your damage. A lot of mantra fading in Gale Breath, just a very tricky play style, super mechanically challenging. You have Shadowcast, where you control your opponent's ether, you control like how much they need to be spending, blah blah blah. Like, you want to basically force them to play more conservatively with Shadow, and you have a lot of big moves like Thunder Eruption, or sorry, not Thunder, Shadow Eruption, Rising Shadow, which pulls them in, gives you free hits. They have to look out for that. It makes them play on the defensive a lot. You have Shadow Gun, which is now a block break, and just so many of those really good moves. And then you have Iron Sing, which usually the only thing people run right now is Scrap Singer, which what they do is they take armor. And the main gimmick of Iron Sing right now, or Scrap Sing, is to take armor and keep yourself at high armor, which gives you more damage, gives your mantras more damage, and pretty much all of the above. So now that we know what each of the playstyles is, people are going to be asking, well, how do I choose my mantra loadout? Now, if you keep that in mind, Fireblade, you want the burn tick, and you want, like, obviously the just hitting a lot of things. Like, basically, you want to blind them when you're playing fire. And I don't mean flame blind, I mean literally blind them. It's like Fire Palm, you make it big, they can't see anything. Like, some things turn invisible. You get Flaming Scourge, which is really good for fainting. Flame Ballista is only good in certain builds. I wouldn't take it on everything. You get Rising Flame, which you can slam off of, and you can chain it into other things. And if you chain things longer with Flame, you get more fire ticks. And if you're a Xur and you have Deep Fire, the fire ticks really fast. So you get Fireblade, block breaks them, they're stunned, they have to take ticks of fire. Get Burning Servants, ticks of fire, just a lot of things that force them to take ticks of fire you want to use. And then obviously you want a block break on almost every build, unless your weapon has a block break and you really don't want it or need it. But you want a block break, that is a good rule of thumb. You want a block break, you want something that is a tracking move or a short hit like a teleport, and then something that is AoE or big. So we have things like Flaming Scorch, that's AoE/big, Flame Ballista, which is a tracking move, and we have Fire Blade, which is obviously a blade move, which is a sure hit, or not a sure hit, sorry, is a block break. And then, so we keep going. So for ice, we have ice daggers, which can force people to stand on the floor, which is the main gimmick of ice, where it keeps them still, and anti-heal, which we'll talk about soon. And then ice dagger is a tracking move, so it tracks towards them and is a sure hit move if they do not parry, so they cannot run out of the way, they cannot like move out of the way of it. So this is a very good move. It is very good for rushing down. This is something that you always want on your frost builds. And then you have Ice Eruption. This is something that can confirm hits and they cannot parry. Also very strong, can't move. It achieves what ice is trying to achieve. And then you have something like Frost Grab, right? This does both. This helps you land hits, and if you put a Blast Spark, it places ice everywhere, which does the anti-heal of what Frost is trying to achieve. And then obviously there are other things here that do all these things, but those are like the main, like the gimmick, what makes ice work. And then for Gale, we have the fastest mantra in the game, Astral Winds. If you put all of the sparks on, or not the sparks, all of the modifiers on it, this is really good. It helps combo, it ends combos, you can feint into it, all that. And then you have, well, what you want to do with Gale combo, right? You have Gale Lunge, very big hitbox, very fast, easy to get through their neutral game, super good. You want that. You want Champion's World Throw, block break, picks them up, tosses them. Rising Wind continues the combo. You can use Champion's World Throw after. Then you have stuff like Pillars of Erisea, or sorry, no, I meant the movement one. You want that one, all that, right? You want things that combo into, start combos. Then we have stuff like Heavenly Wind. This can help get into a combo, all that, right? This all helps achieve pretty much a lot of the Gale moves are very viable. So it just depends what your personal playstyle is, and you need to do a lot of experimenting with Gale. But two must-haves are Gale Lunge and Astral Wind on a Gale build. Then we have Iron Sing. We have Caltrops. These will shred armor. They will let you play a more passive playstyle if you want. Needle Barrage. These will put you in the air so you can use it to like kind of dodge things. And then you can apply more armor stealing and rods. Then you have Oxidizing Rush, another thing that applies rods, helps you steal armor. Rocket Lance, this is a gimmick mantra. Well, it does some decent damage, but it's also a gimmick mantra. It can roll catch, which is one of the things that you need for a good loadout. You need a roll catcher. But what it does is it slams them and you can knock them into the void or off of things. Then we have Shadow Eruption, Shadow Gun, Shadow Roar. Just those three, very good, super good. Permafrost Prison, also super good. Then we have, for Thunder, we need Grand Javelin. We have Rising Thunder, right? We have Electro Carve and Jolt Grab. Those are all super solid mantras. You need them on almost all of your lightning builds, unless you're going a certain gimmick, obviously, but these are the very basics. So for Jolt Grab, that's your teleport move, if you put a spark on it. And then Thunder Kick as your block break. And then we have Grand Javelin, that's your throw move, that's your neutral game, all that. You can throw that out, you can extend with it. Electro Carve, you can put a spark on it where you slam it down and it does a lot of hits. You can like slide into it, you can catch people off guard, you can feint into it, a lot of things. It's just, these are really good mantras overall. Then we have these mantras. I don't use them as much, but Brachial Spear, not very good. Dread Breath, this is good for ice builds as it applies crystals. Mecha Gatling, this applies flame, not very good. Coral Spear, not very good. Whirling Blade, not very good. Abyssal Ridge, this is very good as it tracks and it launches them in the air, allowing you to extend combos. And Pumpkin Pitch, not very good. We have Flame Assault, super good mantra. Flame Leap is alright. Then we have Glacial Arc, this can be used to go places, not very good. You do want Wind Passage. Tempest Blitz is actually good because it helps you get out of like the neutral game. It lets you get right into attacking your opponent. It applies pressure. I think it's better on Gale builds than it is on Thunder builds, but that's my opinion. Then we have it Encircle, which is actually very good now as it applies hit stun. And then Lightning Cloak, which lets you kind of control the flow of the battle by like zooming in and out, hitting them, not letting them hit you. And then here we have support mantras. Support, we want some kind of sustain or heal. So Flame of Denial, Flame Wisp, those two super good. If you have low flame, Flame of Denial is better than Flame Wisp. But if you have high flame, use Flame Wisp as it heals you a lot and keeps you in the fight. Between Frost Wisp and Iceberg, always go Iceberg, put Rush Shards on it. You heal a lot, you get a free bar. Ice is the new flame, pretty much. Gale, you want to go one of the attunementless ones like Gaze. You want to put a Wind Gem on that or something like that. Gale Wisp isn't really worth it in my opinion. Same with probably these, unless you want to go Chain Pull. You can push them away if you have a ranging kit, or you can pull them in if you have a kit where you want to combo off of. And then here we have support for Shadow. I would suggest Shade Wisp. Like covering your body in the shadow is a very good, it's just a very good thing you can do. And then for this, I would suggest Lightning Stream. You put a Blast Spark on it, you get some good heal, you hit them, all that. So basically, if you got to this point, the rules are you want a block break, you want a roll catcher, and you want a auto hit / tracking move. Those are all things that you really need in a kit for it to be viable. And then optional, you need something that gets through neutral, but that's usually the teleport or roll catcher. So thank you guys for watching. That's just a basic like course to go over this. If you do want my builds, join my Discord and subscribe. There is a way to access every single one of my builds. If you like the video, then like it and leave a comment. This helps me out greatly. I'm actually at 6.5k subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I've gotten here so fast.